Hey gang, what's up? Welcome back here to another edition of The Fishing Teacher, and really appreciate you guys watching the video and checking it out today. We are going to be talking about fishing concrete walls today. Concrete walls that are found, like whether it be like, it could be like a seawall, it could be concrete wall in some type of an industrial area. It could be concrete walls from like a a lot of times at the dam on a lake, you'll have some big long concrete walls that go out there. There's a lot of different situations where you have concrete walls. They're a unique piece of structure and they can be great for catching fish on. So I'm gonna give you guys some tips and advice on how to approach that. And also guys, huge thanks out there to everybody that's been supporting the channel by using my Tackle Warehouse links you hear me talking about. I always put those in the description if you guys need to order any tackle. If you use those links, it's a good way to give back and support here, so much appreciated. Okay guys, I love fishing seawalls, or concrete walls, seawalls, whatever. Same with riprap. It's like riprap and concrete walls are two of my favorite things to catch bass on. Now, the thing about that is they do get a lot of fishing pressure, but the reason is they hold a bunch of fish. And one of the reasons that concrete walls hold a lot of fish is they provide a unique cover. There's some type of a cover for fish to be around, and a lot of fish like to be around cover. Not all of them like to roam out in open water. But another thing about it is concrete almost always has some type of algae or plankton growing on the concrete itself, on the wall. And if you've noticed a lot, especially guys, if you fish some of the dam areas where the lake allows you to fish up against the dam and along some of those concrete walls, you'll notice these big shad feeding along the side of them. And a bridge pier can be the same thing. A bridge pier is basically a concrete wall. But these big gizzard and threadfin shad will feed on the algae there, attracting bass with that. So it's just a good all-around bass cover. It provides shade, it provides cover, it provides food. So it's that type of scenario. So let's talk a little bit about how to fish it and what you need to look for. Now, first of all, when you're dealing with concrete walls, you got two different types that you're going to be fishing. Number one is you're going to be fishing the deep walls where the fish will be suspended on it. And then the other type of wall would be the shallower wall that, where like a break wall or something like that, where the water's only 3 or 4 feet deep. For the most part, I prefer the deep concrete where it's like where the fish suspend on it, because that's a unique piece of cover that I want to really talk about today. Now, if you're fishing those type of areas, and again, these are primarily like dam areas, the walls that are coming off of dam areas, the bridge riprap, industrial type areas, any place where the water is like over 10 foot deep, water clarity plays a key role in it. If you have off-colored water, say the water visibility where you fish at is under 3 feet, concrete walls are not going to be that great. Fish don't really care to suspend on them under those conditions. If you have water visibility under 3 feet, those shallower concrete walls are going to be better. Like the concrete retaining walls between docks that some lakes have, something like that. Those are going to be the places that are going to be really good. And you can fish them with a variety of techniques. My favorite is probably a crankbait. Certain times of the year, a buzzbait or whopper plopper could work good, a jig or some type of a Texas rig, simply because you're only fishing 2, 3, 4 feet of water and the bait's going to the bottom next to the seawall. But moreover, I want to go into the deeper seawalls, which you need to have clear water. For a seawall or some type of a concrete wall to be productive, in my opinion, you have to have over 3 foot of visibility. Ideally, I like that visibility to be around 5 or 6 foot of clarity. This is perfect for that, because that way, if you have 5 or 6 foot of clarity, you've got fish that will suspend in a lot of different depths. You got some fish that will suspend 5 or 6 feet deep under the concrete or around the concrete, and you may have some fish that suspend 20 feet deep, depending upon the time of year. Also, there's two different ways to catch these fish on a clear water concrete wall. You're going to have some fish that are right against the concrete, that tuck up against it, and a lot of times this is the case if there's some type of current flowing around there. But other times, if you don't have that situation, sometimes those fish will suspend out away from the concrete, especially if there's some shade overhead, like of a bridge up there. So being close to the concrete or being in the shade is real critical. You're not going to catch many fish off of a seawall or off of a concrete wall unless you have some shade on it. It's been my experience with that. Now the lure selections, a couple of different things. Probably my favorite lure to fish on a concrete wall is a small swim bait, like a 3-inch megabass spark shad, something like that. But the reason I like that is you can cast it out there and you can count it down to different depth zones, and you can work it horizontally through the water column. Sometimes I like a jerk bait in those situations, but the other two lures that work really good and probably the most consistent is a drop shot and some type of a wacky rig. If you told me, Randy, you could have one lure to fish concrete, it would be a drop shot. Some type of a drop shot, little worm, or some types of little swim bait on it, usually like on a 3/16 ounce head. And the thing that's good about a drop shot is you can fish it horizontally or vertically. So a lot of times what I'll do is I'll make a long cast down the side of the concrete wall, and I'll just reel and shake that drop shot back, almost like I would with a swim bait. And then if I have it figured out how deep I think the fish are, I can pitch that drop shot out maybe 10 foot in front of the boat and let it go straight down and fish it vertical. Because a lot of times those fish will suspend deep around those concrete walls, and you can fish them vertical, almost like crappie fishing. But overall, guys, I think if the two most important elements to consider are your water clarity and the shade when you're fishing concrete. That's going to be the big deal. Again, the fish are not going to suspend on those concrete walls if you have dirty water. They're going to be on the bottom in the shallower stuff, but in the clear water, they're going to be on that. And one of the best places to fish it, guys, if you fish a lake that has where the dam, the people or the Corps of Engineers or whatever lets you get next to the dam, and like maybe some of the long walls that are on some of the TVA lakes that allow you to lock through to different lakes. I've caught some big ones, just fishing around the concrete walls on those big long walls going into the locks. A lot of people don't fish them, but they definitely hold fish. So anyway, guys, hope it helps out. We'll talk later.